1:26F. Don't know if I should tell my boyfriend, 39M, that I'm pregnant. My boyfriend and I have been together for 3 years. We've had quite a few issues throughout our relationship and I was on the verge of ending things. Our lease doesn't end until May and I needed to get all of my ducks in a row before making it official. But my mind is made up about our relationship being over. I found out today I am 6 weeks pregnant despite being on birth control. I am considering getting an abortion and not telling him I'm pregnant for fear that he will try to convince me to keep it, and that things will get ugly when I tell him I'm not going to. At the same time, I feel like I'd be a horrible person if I didn't tell him. How would you go about this? If you're afraid of telling him, don't tell him. If it's bad and you're leaving, don't tell him. If it's bad enough that you have to plot leaving, don't tell him. Do what you have to do to stay safe and fuck the rest. And a little extra fuck him for being 36 and going after a 23-year-old. If you aren't going to keep it, and you're breaking up, you don't need to tell him. Agreed to the other responses. If you have a trusted friend who doesn't interact with your BF, talk to them and get their support. IDK if you live in a place where it's been made illegal or more difficult to obtain an abortion, but you do not want to tell him in this political climate. Relationship is over, and it's your decision. If you don't value his opinion, then I wouldn't tell him, ever. Get the abortion. Do not tell him. Is it possible he tampered with your birth control to try to baby trap you? If there's no chance you're going to keep it, and you don't need or wouldn't get support, there's no reason to tell him. It would just cause pain for nothing. I, 23F, broke up with fiancé, 27M, after F mother-in-law got in the way. How do I move on? Hi all. I, 23F, very recently ended an engagement to my fiancé, 27M. Long story short, his mother had a nice person facade disappeared the moment we got engaged. The last straw happened when she accused me of being a gold digger and attempting to rob my fiancé. None of which is true. I have never asked for anything, and anything which he has paid for has been because he wanted to. She had a psychotic breakdown in front of me and fiancé, screaming at me about all of this. I decided to end it because my fiancé did not stand up for me and didn't take action to stop all of this. This on top of sharing very private information with his parents. I felt that all trust was lost and that I couldn't possibly associate myself with people like this in the long term. I can just see my life being hell had I stayed. I had never been so disrespected in my life. The problem sits with me now. I can't seem to stop thinking about the possibility of never being loved the same way again. I know it's irrational, but I can't help but think, what if I never find someone compatible again? What if I can never have kids? What if I never have the family I so badly want to make one day? I am trying to work on myself, focus on my studies. Sometimes it just seems like I want to crawl up in a ball and cry all day. How did you guys move on from your broken relationships? How is life for you now? Oh hun, you will find love again. You're still so young and have so much life ahead of you. I would suggest therapy. You went through something very emotionally heavy, and trauma doesn't discriminate from someone drowning in 6 feet of water vs 6 inches. Please, find someone close and trustworthy to talk to. I promise there is a better future outside of this one relationship, my dear Purple Heart. Let's hope you aren't loved the same way, that you find a love that respects you, that is trustworthy with your personal information, and who will stand up for you when faced with a psychotic tirade. There is so much out there. It gets better with time, and there are millions of potential matches. There is surely one that is a better match for you than someone who made you feel so disrespected. Hun, this wasn't real love. Someone who loves you has your back. You just saved yourself years of misery. You'll find a man who loves you even more and isn't a mama's boy. You always came after his mom. You don't want to date and certainly don't want to marry a mama's boy. Look at how she made your life hell and he allowed it. Girl, you are only 23, you will absolutely find the love and family you deserve. You say you might never be loved the same way again. But why do you want your only form of love to be good until a family member starts attacking you and your partner just sits and lets it happen? You deserve someone who is 110% on your side against everything else. I promise you also that being alone for the rest of your life would be so much better than being your Mills verbal punching bag while your partner just sits there watching. You deserve to be loved, respected, and supported. And also in-laws that love you. The way your boyfriend was treating you by serving you up to his mother on a silver platter is not what love is. You were seeing his facade. Trust me, you will meet someone who loves you. But you must love you first. My F29 husband, M30, lied about going to workout classes with his coworker. How to approach? Husband said he was going to some new martial arts classes alone. Turns out he's going with his female coworker, Lisa. I went through his phone because I remembered a month or 2 ago he mentioned he might go to some classes with her. The class starts tonight. I am so hurt he's lied and now I fear the reason for his lie. Do I confront him today before the class? Or after a few classes have gone by to see if I can get more info on if something more is going on between them. Backstory. They seem like close work friends. They vent about their boss and both like tattoos and martial arts. He's told me I get along with her a couple times. I've never met her in person, so not sure what their dynamic is really like. They send each other memes on Insta sometimes. She's attractive and I don't know how I'd feel about him going to these classes with her. I'm definitely not comfortable now that he's lied. Tell him you've decided you'd love to take that class with him. See what his reaction is. Men don't lie about hanging out with women for no reason. You know this. Don't confront. Watch. If he's aware you're suspicious, he'll get better at hiding. He's told me I get along with her a couple times. Cheaters always say stuff like this. I'd show up at his class lol. Perhaps you should show up halfway through class? Or wait for class to end and observe their exit? A lie is serious, even if it is a lie by omission. I would speak to him before he goes to his class, and tell him that you want the full truth of why he is going to class with her, and why he lied by omission. If he is developing feelings for her, and this is a way to spend time with her outside of workplace obligations, this is emotional cheating. Further, he is taking time that he could be spending with you on a shared interest and giving that time away to someone else that could have the potential to be more than a friend. If this is the first step to physical cheating, it is best to know now and deal with the consequences if he can be honest. And it may be the wake-up call he needs to readjust his priorities and reasoning that lead him down the path of lying. Found my 36F engaged ex 38M on a dating app. Do I tell his fiancé? I 36F broke up with my ex 38M at the end of 2023. We grew apart after a long 15 years. And it was mutual, but a big reason I ended it was because he was talking to other women. Lo and behold, 4 months after we broke up he was engaged. I saw him on the dating app field in December. I'm on a few of them. That's the only one I've seen him on and I'm assuming he chose it since it's lesser known. I didn't swipe either way, I just left his profile there to see how long it would take him to notice that I was on there, and it was only a few days. I assumed he blocked me until I saw him on there again today, and a few things on his profile changed, yet according to Facebook he's still happily engaged. I feel like I should tell his fiancée because she deserves to know, as I wish someone had told me sooner, but I just don't know how to go about it. I still have screenshots from December so I have concrete proof, but I don't know her at all, so there's a possibility it could blow up in my face. Plus the fact that I still live in the same place I did when we broke up, so my ex would know where to find me. Looking for people that have been through this before, and what the outcome was, and also any opinions on whether or not I should do it. Too long did not read. Broke up with ex end of 2023 after 15 years, mostly because he was talking to other women. He was engaged by April. Saw him on a dating app in Deck and again today. I want to tell his fiancée but don't know if I should. Make a fake Instagram profile and DM it to her. Don't do it as yourself or it will backfire. Not your circus, not your monkeys. You'll end up being called crazy ex. Have a third party disclose it. Not your circus, not your clown. I think you should block this guy everywhere and move on completely. There's no guarantee she's going to believe you. They don't have some kind of open relationship or who knows what is going on. I'm not accusing you of being overly fixated exactly, but all this examining his dating app, waiting for changes, and checking in with his Facebook just isn't good for you. If doing it anonymously was possible, that might be an option, but in your case I think it would be fairly obvious who probably did it and not worth it. Field is oriented towards threesomes and more. Maybe ex's fiancé is in on it? If this other person agreed to marry your ex after 4 months, you don't want to mess with a crazy person like that. Mind your own business, move on.